Hi. Building game rules in Loquiz is always that something happens and then something else happens, so they are kind of in a sequence. But sometimes you have the need to build the rules so that something happens after something else has happened, but there is a time frame or there is some kind of other modifier between those. Now, let me explain to you. So we'll create a game. I added 3 tasks here into this game. And I will get rid of this default block. And we are looking at 2 blocks specifically. And these blocks are odometer after the task finished and timer after task finished. Okay, so I will very briefly give a little bit of background. So first of all, what you need to understand is that what finished means. So this block actually refers to when task is finished. And let me put the task 1 here. So what it really means that task 1 is finished. And this depends on how the task is set up actually. So let's open the task 1, go to the additional settings and scroll down, and you can see that there are some settings. And these 3 settings actually define when the task becomes finished. The first one is default, and it will mark the task finished when any answer is given to the task. Correct or incorrect, if the task is answered, the task becomes finished. If the task is set as a second one and you expect the correct answer, until the correct answer you keep the task on a game. It only becomes finished when this correct answer is given. Okay, so you need to take it into account when creating the rules. And the third one, you might say that, okay, I want to keep that task forever so that people can come to that, back to that task until the end of the game. So then it never becomes finished. So if the task has this setting set, it will never launch this rule. So the default is the most secure rule to actually engage with is finished. So that is the first important thing. The second important thing is that there are some logic blocks that actually give you the odometer, for example, from the beginning of the game. Okay, so that odometer starts counting from the beginning of the game, but this odometer starts counting after the task 1 is finished. So this will launch something after the task 1 is finished and you have traveled more than 100 meters. Out of these 2, I would actually recommend to use the block here. And the timer, for the timer as well, you have an alternative block. And the alternative block is that you could use the timer that starts with the beginning of the game. And very often this is what you want. They are 10 minutes into the game and you want to launch something. And also what you can do with the date and time, you have the block that refers to the specific date and time when something will happen. Now these are kind of blocks that are different. And now the timer from when something is finished actually gives you a little bit more opportunities, and let me show you some of them. So let me try to build a logic where task 2 is shown on a map, and I need to give it a location when task 1 is finished, but I only want to give this opportunity for 100 seconds. So with this block, what will happen is that after you finish task 1, I will show you task 2 on a map for 100 seconds. You need to run to the task 2 or you will not be able to see it anymore. Alternatively, you can also do that, okay, you answer task 1 and then you need to wait for 100 seconds until task 2 appears on a map. So this will give you a lot of flexibility to build these kind of rushing situations or waiting situations into the game.